Hello, I'm Chris, you're watching FRAG-MENTAL. Thank you for joining me. Today, I'm talking about two brand new releases from Guerlain, both Privés. Let's dive in. My previous video was about upcoming new releases I'm excited about, and I mentioned in that video I had these two Guerlains on the way to me. Well, here they are, Habit Rouge Rouge Privé and L'Homme Ideal Platine Privé. The spiel from Guerlain was that these were both reimaginings of existing fragrances with an eye on injecting some modernity. That's true for one of these, but not really the other. All right, let's start with L'Homme Ideal Platine Privé. They got me. The marketing sucked me in and I fell for it. This fragrance sounded right up my street, and it is, because I already have it. This to me smells exactly the same as L'Homme Ideal cologne, which is apparently discontinued, except it isn't. It was a trick, and I fell for it. Guerlain said this was a new Grand Cru blend, a new secret accord, a secret reorchestration. Well, the only secret is that they've just repackaged an already existing fragrance. I guess it's kind of a reimagining, but only in the presentation. It is an excellent fragrance. It's got the almond, which is at the heart of the Ideal line, combined with some creamy citruses. I love it. I just didn't need another bottle of it. The other kick in the balls is that I only paid about £20 for this fragrance. I paid £100 for this. Yeah, I know it's brand new and it's in a bigger bottle, but considering I essentially already own it, it stings a bit. To quote the thumbnail of this video, don't buy this if you already own this. Totally redundant to own both. I'm taking bullets here for you guys so you can dodge them if you already own Ideal cologne. If you've run out and you need another bottle, then at least you can now restock. But here I am, taking bullets here for my loyal viewers. You're welcome. Oh!
If you love fragrance as much as I do, head over to my online store, luxparfum.co.uk. You'll find my favourite brands, plus brands you can't find anywhere else in the UK. Link is in the description.
I'm done now licking my wounds. So let's talk about Habit Rouge Rouge Privé. This was supposed to be a modern day reimagining of Habit Rouge, and it is. I think they've achieved that. This one smells fantastic. It's like they've amped up everything. More leather, more vanilla, more rose. It's got complexity, it's got attitude, it's got charm. The original Habit Rouge is great, I love it, but it definitely does have a vintage quality to it. This one, Rouge Privé, has a little wink at the vintage side of things, but definitely smells more modern to me. I think one of the reasons for that is the leather. I mentioned it's amplified, it smells more rugged, more worn, more robust, and it really seems to amplify the rose in here. It also has a bigger dose of vanilla, so there's more of a creamy sweetness to this one, and that seems to just smooth things out and help balance the whole fragrance. Surprisingly, rose isn't a listed note on Fragrantica or on Guerlain's website, but I get a pretty hefty dose of rose in this fragrance. I'm no expert, it could be other notes combining to create a rose-like accord, but for me this fragrance is all about the trinity of rugged leather, rose and vanilla. There's a few notes or accords in here that some people may be a little bit wary of. Leather sometimes can be a little bit divisive if it's too harsh, particularly in something like Tuscan leather. That can be quite a divisive fragrance, but I wouldn't say the leather in this is as harsh. I think it's certainly smoother and more wearable than in Tuscan leather. The other note that sometimes particularly guys worry a little bit about is rose, and I get that because rose does have associations with smelling a little more feminine. Well, I don't think the rose in here to me leans feminine at all. I think it's possibly this rugged leather, this worn, robust leather that is adding a nice masculine touch to the fragrance. So the rose here for me is definitely leaning into more masculine territory. So if you're worried about leather, if you're worried about rose, I'd say don't worry about those two things. It does have a complexity though, so if you can, do try to sample it first. The other reason you might want to sample this is just like the original Habit Rouge, it does lean a little more mature. I'd say it's going to be more for people aged 30 plus. It's not an old granddaddy type of smell at all, but it's got this complexity, it's got this ruggedness that I think just matches better with someone who is a little bit older, just has a few more years under their belt, a little bit more life experience. In terms of occasions when to wear this, it's pretty versatile. I could actually wear this all year round, no problem. My preference would be to wear this for some kind of formal occasion or an event, some kind of occasion where you're dressed up, you're in a suit, you're looking sharp, maybe you want to make a bit of a statement. It definitely has the sophistication that you would associate with an event like that. I should also mention performance of these two fragrances. Both are really good. The Platine Privé, I get an all-day smell just like I did with the cologne. It's a fairly long-lasting, quite strong, creamy citrus fragrance. This one is very powerful as well. You wouldn't need to overspray this one, I don't think, because of the robust quality. It's got lots of depth and complexity, and it lasts all day easily. Really good in performance on both of them. And the presentation as well, what do you think? Now they've moved away from the older style of bottles for a lot of their releases and gone to this chunky square bottle. I like it. It feels solid, it feels heavy, it feels like it's a fragrance that means business, and it's got quite modern, sleek lines to it. A couple of downsides to the presentation: it's essentially just a stick-on label on the front. Not necessarily a bad thing. Tom Ford do that with their private blends. I don't know, I just feel like a nice little plaque would have gone really nicely on the front there, but that's just a minor little quibble. The other thing is the presentation of the boxes. They are just flimsy cardboard boxes that you'd get a fragrance that cost a few pounds in. But again, that's nothing new, because lots of designer fragrances like Dior's and Chanel's that are in this price range come in similar boxes. Generally with designers you don't get a really luxury presentation, so just a couple of slight niggles, but not deal breakers at all. So I love both of these fragrances. I think they're really nicely composed. They've definitely got the quality of Guerlain. They've got these new secret accords. I can buy that for this one. Perhaps there's something new going on in this, but I don't really feel like there's anything new going on. This is L'Homme Ideal cologne to me. I don't know what this secret reorchestration is. I think that's maybe a little bit of marketing BS. Guerlain, what do you think? I mean, it kind of worked because I fell for it. Should you pay £100 for these fragrances? This was 100, I think this was just a little more than 100. Well, they're good. They do smell fantastic. Smell them if you can. If you really like them, then I guess it's worth it. I guess it's worth £100. Personally, for me, I would rather have waited. If I wasn't buying them to smell to make this video, I would be more than happy to wait until they hit discounters, maybe 6 to 12 months time, and get these for maybe £10, £20 less. So I think you could wait. If you're desperate to try them, or if you try them in store and you love them, then you know you've got to put the value on it. If you smell either of these and you absolutely love them, if you adored cologne and you were gutted when it was discontinued and you want to restock up on the same scent, then maybe £100 for 100ml is going to be worth it for you. Ultimately, that's something you've got to decide for yourself. But me personally, I'd be quite happy picking these up a little bit cheaper at discounters further down the line. Okay, that's my take on these two fragrances. Have you tried them yet? They are released here in the UK. I'm not sure about anywhere else in the world. What do you think of them if you've tried them? Do you think Ideal Platine Privé is just a rebadged Ideal cologne? Have they tricked us? Have they duped us? Is that all right? Does that sit well with you, them doing that? Because how many people are going to be tricked into buying it when maybe they already own it? Hopefully all the people who are watching this video won't be tricked. You, like I said, you'll dodge that bullet. In a recent video, I talked about the new Acqua di Gio Parfum potentially just being a rebranding, a rebadging, a new presentation of Acqua di Gio Profumo. They're just literally changing the name. Maybe it's just going to be the exact same fragrance. I mean, Profumo just means parfum anyway, right? So I think there's maybe this same thing going on, and maybe this is a new little trend. Perhaps we're going to see a little bit more of this fragrance brands realizing that they can make a few extra bob on just re-releasing the same fragrance that they've already had in their back catalogue, just in a new updated bottle with a different sticker on it. Yeah, morally, is that right? I guess technically they're not doing anything wrong, but I don't know. You let me know in the comments if you like this video, if you found it useful, if it's helped you dodge that bullet. You know what to do. Give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and if you do all that, I will see you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching.